Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different than a lot of the ones from the past couple weeks. And this is going along with the things that I said I was going to do, which is to not forget about important things that are going on outside of the account um, movement and all of that. Okay, so for any of you new folks that are watching this video about Charlotte and about the race war, division, false flag, um, intentional fueling of separation and distraction from a lot of things that are going on. I hope that you take the time to really understand what I'm trying to say here and what I'm trying to point out. And I know some of this you may not understand if I make references to the accounts, because you came to this video regarding the information I'm providing about Charlotte. Now, I do recommend to any of you to definitely go and check out some of my other videos on the accounts that I will mention from time to time. But for all of you that have been part of the unity movement and the freedom from the Federal Reserve movement, I'm hoping you guys see what I see here and understand this and appreciate what I do here, okay? Now, as you guys know, there was an attack in Charlotte yesterday, which, according to the mainstream media, was a alt-right protest, okay? An alt-right protest. White Christians, as they're saying, that are racist to the core. Now, as we know, with the Black Lives Matter movement, and as we know with the KKK and most of these other organizations that have happened, typically those are created by the elitists, okay? The leaders of these organizations, they are intentionally put in place where they are to mislead and create distractions and division and chaos so that they can use their greatest form of control that they've used of all time, which is order out of chaos and separation, segregation, division, divide and conquer, and order out of chaos. Now this guy, I just had to throw this in the beginning. This asshole, and I'm sorry if you guys don't like that I'm going to say that, but he's an asshole, okay? And I'm going to tell you why he's an asshole, because he's not here supporting unity. He's here he's pushing their same agenda, division, divide and conquer. He's a shill. I've got no doubt in my mind. He's a shill, and then he's charging people for his services with the accounts. This video isn't about him, but it's about the moral and the principle. He is fueling racism and division. So someone who's going to mislead people as far as the accounts go and the way to go about them, and then at the same time be pushing racism and division, it's very obvious you're a shill. Okay. They're saying this was the Unite the Right movement. Okay. Now, what else do we know recently that happened? Google And YouTube, as the videos I just put out, they came up with plans to censor alt-right white supremacist, aka truther, conservative movement and videos and beliefs and views. Okay, now it's very funny that they just came out with that. Okay, they just came out with this. Okay, they came out with this a couple weeks before there's this big attack, this big violence in a rally in Virginia where supposedly you've got white supremacists with the alt-right, unite the right movement beating black men with poles in a Charlottesville parking garage. Now, how disgusting is this? It's horrible. I'm going to say 100%. It's absolutely horrible. But if we think for 1 minute that this was not intentionally done, this was not organized by these same assholes that are keeping our accounts from us, that are creating these false flag attacks, that are pushing this racist agenda to divide us, to conquer us, to silence us, to get control back over us. Because I'll tell you, with everything that's been going on recently, and just in our movement alone, all the unity, you've got black, white, brown, yellow, whatever, every group, okay? And everybody is getting along and uniting and standing together and not letting any of this bullshit get to us. Do you know why? I know why. Because we realize their game. We realize that this whole movement was set up, prearranged, and executed to divide us, to distract us, to keep us off the truth. Because not only in our movement have people been rallying and uniting, but there's a lot of other movements. And I find it very funny that YouTube put out that particular reasoning for this new censorship. They put out that particular reasoning for this new censorship just weeks ago, specifically naming alt-right white supremacists. And do you know what they're doing? Let me show you something, okay? Charlotsville, the Christian response and your church's call. I know I'm not the only one who's been keeping track of what's happening in Charlotte, VA. And feeling both sadness and anger at the same time, I returned to the United States this morning, to a country that seems to be bursting at the seams with tension, hatred, and division. As a Christian leader, watching all that unfolded surrounding today's Unite the Right rally, which saw nationalists, again, nationalists, so you wanting to be a natural national, you're a white supremacist. Doesn't matter, you could be black and you want to be a natural national, you're a racist. Okay? This is propaganda being spoon-fed to the asleep American population. And it's disgusting. Just like how Facebook with the Black Lives Matter movement, when that happened, okay? Facebook, it's all out in the open now. You guys can research this for yourself. It came out that Facebook was manipulating the data to make that trend when it wasn't. It was not the highest trending story. It was not. They fanned the flame to make that go to the extent that it did, to cause the separation, the division, the hatred, the anger, the violence. Facebook was caught, amongst others, fanning the flames, intentionally manipulating, illegally manipulating the data to make that become what it did. So that was not the trending story. That was not what was supposed to be at the top of the list and going viral. They manipulated it with the metadata and the data to do that. Call for taking back America. See? White nationalists, neo-Nazis, Ku Klux Klan members, all making up, sometimes call the alt-right. Call for taking America back. The Ku Klux Klan is the elitists. They created it. They implanted their own people. The leaders have handlers. That all has come out too. They have handlers. They are told what to do, when to do it. That's why this shit happens. And I'm going to tell you, vulgarity warning on this today, on this video. I normally don't, but I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I see what they're doing and it's working. It's not working in our movement, although I will say today, seems like there's a lot of people that are normally around that aren't. We cannot let their bullshit work. We need to share this everywhere. Okay? Please, guys, share this video everywhere. Everybody needs to see it. Everybody needs to hear it. Because I'm going to focus on a couple key points here. And I'm going to connect the dots for those that can't see it.
Now he's added a new routine.
President Donald Trump included the Ku Klux Klan and the neo-Nazi groups in condemning violence after a white nationalist rally. The White House said on Sunday, the day after he was criticized on the left and right for not explicitly condemning white supremacists. And again, they're going to keep pushing that MO. Every single article, they're going to keep pushing that MO, okay? The white supremacist, alt-right, alternative media, Christian, conservative, yeah, you get the picture, okay? And this goes back to London. This goes back, way back, before any... This has been going on for a long time. They do not like the traction and the amount of movement the movements have gained. They don't like it. They don't like that we're sharing the truth. They don't like that we're catching them. They don't like that. That's what this is all about. This is all to divide and conquer, and this is so that, okay, so they've been getting tweet after tweet. They've been getting condemned on their new censorship policy. How much do you want to bet right now, if you go and you do a poll right now, that a lot of the people that were condemning it are now going to be all for it because they don't realize what's really going on here. They don't see this for what it is, which is propaganda, brainwashing. It's brainwashed. They're brainwashing the freaking population. They're using disgusting, despicable things that, yes, this stuff does happen sometimes in real life. Okay? It does. But not like this. There are people that are racist or have their views or their beliefs, and every once in a while you have a nut job that'll go out there and do. But these organized, it's organized. It's intentionally organized and carried out. It's not like with the amount of surveillance technology and everything else. Do you really think, being that it is a crime for what they were doing, okay? Do you think that they didn't know about this and they just let it? They didn't like have any clue and it just happened on its own. No, they let it happen. They wanted it to happen. This was supposed to happen because it fuels their agenda. It divides us. It conquers us. It creates that separation, ruins that unity that's been going on. Okay? So this was planned and executed. And it all falls back to censoring the media, controlling the masses. Because now, if everybody thinks that all of these alt-right, so if you label yourself as alt-right, okay, as in alternative media, you're more lean towards the right. Now, everybody that is still asleep is going to think automatically that you are a white supremacist racist that's going to go out and run people over with cars and beat innocent minorities with sticks. This, I mean, I don't understand how so many people can let the wool be pulled over their eyes and not see this for what it really is. I mean, this is like something out of a damn movie. This isn't something that is like real life. Or a bad book. That's what it... U.S. authorities are investigating the outbreak of violence, which has put new pressure on Trump administration to take an unequivocal stand against the segment of his political base. Some rightists have claimed allegiance to Trump, a Republican. So now you're a Trump supporter, then you're a racist. 32-year-old woman was killed and 19 injured, 5 critically, on Saturday when a man plowed a car into a crowd of people objecting to the white nationalist rally in the southern college town of Charlotsville. About 15 people were injured after the rival groups pitched battles using fists, rock, pepper spray, and in the streets. And another thing, you guys don't think it's funny? Like, you never used to hear about people taking cars and driving them into crowds of people. In the last year, I've been hearing about people taking cars and driving them into crowds of people like every other month. You don't think that's a little strange? It is. It's very strange. And it should raise some eyebrows. Because we know that London was bullshit. I called that like the day it happened. And I'm saying this is bullshit too. I'm not saying that it didn't happen per se, but I'm saying that it was planned and executed. And I'll guarantee you, the ones that were poisoning these people's minds, they had handlers. They were part of the whole process. They were there for their mission, and they accomplished it. Let's carry on. Video: Solidarity Vigil in SF's Union Square to denounce racist violence in Virginia. And you know what this is? I'm going to tell you. It's good to have a vigil for people that really get hurt. And I'm going to be looking into the supposed death. And I'm also going to be looking into some other things on this. But you don't see what this... I mean, I'm not going to play the video, because if I play the video, then I'm going to get a copyright strike. And with how important of information we've been putting out, I really can't... I can no longer jeopardize that. But I'll guarantee you in there, that they're not just denouncing racism, they're denouncing the alt-right conservative ideology, and basically saying if you're not a liberal or a libtard, then you're a white supremacist, and condemning you, which is bullshit. This is the woman that was killed, okay? Supposedly. I'm going to say supposedly until I can prove otherwise. There was an article. I'm trying to find it. It's important. I thought I had it up there, but I guess I moved it somewhere else. Let's see. Yeah, with the car. I mean, really, with the car. I just, really, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, there's so many articles here. It's, I'm gonna be trying to go through looking for some anomalies in between working on the other stuff I'm working on. Now, this is the guy that, and I don't know where the art. There was an important article I pulled up where they were already going. They were mentioning the alternative media. They were mentioning the white conservative views, and it's just brainwash, guys. You got to see it for what it is. It's brainwash, plain and simple. I mean, just look at the pictures. Just look at the pictures. Like, they always happen to have professional photographers on the scene for every single one of these that happens. I mean, typically, you got a protest, you might have somebody covering it, but you're not going to have, like, a bazillion professional photographers to catch, like, the horror in 4K. Come on. Just bullshit. And I'm sorry for those of you. I know a lot of my viewers are not used to me using profanity. This one's really got me going. I heard about it and did a little research on it yesterday. I didn't really cover it yesterday because we had a lot of other things we were covering, but it seems as though this is accomplishing what it was designed to, and that's what's really frustrating me, is that I was hoping people would see it for what it is, and they're not. They're not seeing it for what it is. The government has used, and the elitists, they've used these tactics over and over and over again over the years. I mean, even some of these public speaking heads that would go out and so-called condemn racism, in turn would actually fuel racism. And the opposite, they would get the black community more filled with hatred towards the white community or the Hispanic community or whatever it may be. We're not white, black, Spanish, Chinese. We're people. We're all humans. We're all brothers and sisters. We're all one. Stop letting them control you and brainwash you and trick you. Okay? You know, Jesse Jackson, Reverend Al Sharpton, those guys they've had handlers. That's been proven. They work for the same people that they condemn. They're there just, it's COINTELPRO. They're used to then go after you. I've been talking a lot about COINTELPRO. That's what this is. This is to divide us, to trick us. You don't think it's funny that I was just literally covering this. See, if you guys are awake and you have eyes to see and you have ears to hear and you don't fall into their trap and their bullshit, then you'll understand and you'll have seen time and time again. For instance, the whole election with Obama, when Obama first ran for office, you don't think that all that hatred and racist fueling wasn't designed? It was. It was most certainly designed. It was all by design. That's why he was put there to run at that time, to cause more division. That's when the truther movement really started picking up. That's when people really started realizing and catching on to their games. Hey, look, 9/11 was an inside job. Hey, look at all these anomalies we're finding with things. That's what it all boils down to, folks. Then this battle with Hillary and Trump to divide woman versus man. That's why all of that propaganda was pushed out, the whole damn race, to divide Hispanics versus whites with the wall and the illegal immigrants and all of that. That's why the mainstream was completely twisting what Donald was saying. Okay? Stop letting them fuel your hatred. Let go of the hatred. There's no one to hate except the government and the elites. They're the ones that you need to be focusing that anger towards, because they are the ones perpetrating these crimes. They're setting them up. We've already caught them with terrorists. The FBI, the CIA, giving, they'll find someone that shows some borderline fanatical ideas online. Then they'll pretend to be like a jihadi. They'll actually then proceed to get these people radicalized. They radicalize them because they maybe showed a idea that they were not happy with the way things were. So then they'll radicalize them. They've been caught, and it's been proven, and it's been declassified that they have given them the materials, handed them the funding, and the whole while they're pretending to be a jihadi. They radicalize them. They give them the money to carry out the attack. They give them the methods, the recipes to make the bomb. And then they turn around and they're supposed to give them dummy materials so the bomb don't go off, but they give them the live stuff. That way they go and they blow up the building or whatever it may be that they do. And then they can say, oh, wow, look at the terrorism, look at it. But they'll never tell you, oh, yeah, we actually radicalized them. We actually gave them the material. We actually let them use the live material and didn't stop them. We let them carry it out to push our agenda. And that's what they're doing. They're tricking every single one of you. And they're doing it with racism, they're doing it with sexism, they're doing it with terrorism, they're doing it with any ism. Any ism. It's because they want the guns, they want the division, they want our freedom, they want our lives and our souls, and we cannot give that to them. We need to come together. We need to fight this. We need to tell them that we're not letting them do this shit anymore. We need to make a very loud and clear message to them. Because if we don't, this stuff's going to continue. I am sure if I don't get to it first, which I probably won't with how much stuff I'm trying to keep up on, there will be stuff coming out. Information that the so-called ones running this movement that this all happened with, somehow or another, or affiliated with the FBI or the CIA or the NSA or some members of Congress or so on and so forth. I don't have a shadow of a doubt in my mind that some of the people, probably the ones that actually carried out the violence, they were probably operatives that were planted there. I'd like to find out the names of the ones that actually carried out the actual violence in that, and that actually were the ones that carried out all of this. Because we've caught them before using black water, using different undercover agents to provocateur violence and to get the rage going and the hatred going and the division going. There was definitely agents that were dressed as white supremacists carrying out these attacks. There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind. The sooner that you guys that aren't awake yet see stuff like this, use your common sense and your logic. Look at the big picture over the last 20, 30 years. You know, it's not by accident that Martin Luther King that was saying to stop believing the bullshit, stop believing the hatred and the lies that are being fed to you, was killed. That wasn't by accident. That's because he was actually uniting people. He wasn't sitting here like Reverend Al or Jesse attacking the other race or fueling more hatred and race war. Martin Luther was saying, no, stop the hatred, stop the violence. That's why he was killed. These other assholes are doing what they're paid to do. They're tricking you, they're fooling you, they're brainwashing you, they're making you go out and get more hatred and put the gap, make the gap bigger between a humanity that's all one. They don't want us to be one, because when we're one, we're powerful, we're strong. When we're one, we walk as one. We kick them out. That's what they're afraid of. Put aside your hatred, put aside your anger, put aside your anguish, put aside your pain, and join us as one. Loving each other, respecting each other, fighting for each other, not with one another. And I'll tell you, I just had some trolls coming in that live stream last night, and they were saying some pretty nasty stuff like the N-word. And you don't think that's just a little strange? All of a sudden that Charlotte crap happens. I've been pushing against YouTube and the censorship. We've been fighting for our accounts, and we've been coming together and building unity. And then all of a sudden, last night when we're having a conference call and a live stream, we got some very disgusting trolls that are government agents on the other side of a keyboard trying to stir up the pot. Just like that Mythbuster coming in trying to poison the well. Who, I might add, has 3 stars on as his profile page. The symbolism there, the symbolism. I mean, if you guys can't see it, you should. So, I want to end it with this. And this was August 1st. YouTube will isolate offensive videos that don't violate policies. YouTube has been working on ways to manage offensive and extremist content that do and do not violate its policies. And some steps it has taken include AI-assisted video detection and removal, as well as input from more experts. Today, in a blog post, the company provided more detail about its ongoing efforts. First, its machine learning video detection has been hard at work during the past month. Over 75% of videos taken down because of violent, extremist content were done so without the help of humans. Well, I didn't know Harvey's videos were extremist content or violent. Interesting. So let's get YouTube removed twice as many of these sorts of videos. The company has also started working with a number of non-governmental agencies, bullshit, they're government, including the Anti-Defamation League, which is a bunch of crackpots, they're more racist than anybody else, the No Hate Speech Movement, which has also been caught fueling racism, and the Institute for Strategic Dialogue. All of these companies are dirtier than a rat's ass, okay? They are dirtier than a damn rat's ass. So, these organizations bring expert knowledge of complex issues like hate speech, radicalization, and terrorism that will help us better identify content that is being used to radicalize and recruit extremists, said YouTube in a blog post. For videos that contain controversial, religious, or supremacist content. Get the picture? But don't violate any of YouTube's policies. They'll now be placed in a limited state, YouTube said. The videos will remain on YouTube behind an interstitial, won't be recommended, won't be monetized, and won't have any key features like including comments, suggested videos, and likes. It says that the limited state will start being applied to desktop versions in the coming weeks and will hit mobile versions shortly thereafter. The coming weeks, huh? April 1st, then about 2 weeks, we have a big white supremacist attack happen. Get the picture? You see some, like, kind of strange goings on there, guys? I do. I think that's pretty strange. Just so happens that in that same coming weeks paragraph is the same one where they're going over controversial and supremacist content, and then they proceed to a couple weeks we'll be rolling it out. Well, to me, a couple weeks is like 2 weeks, and it's almost exactly 2 weeks that first was released, and then we have that happen. I'm sorry, but lightning doesn't strike in the same place over and over and over again. The statistical odds of that are very slim, and it seems like this always seems to happen. It always seems to be that they like have ESP on what's going to happen. Oh my God, the supremacist, racist, religious crackpot movement is going to be. They're going to start radicalizing people online and making rallies and going out and beating, poor minorities with sticks. Come on. It was agents that caused that violence. I'll guarantee it. Okay. But don't violate any of YouTube's policies. They'll be placed in a limited state. YouTube said that these changes are just the beginning, and it will be sharing more about this, about its work in the months ahead. Altogether, we have taken significant steps over the last month in our fight against online terrorism, but it's not the end. We know there's always more work to be done. Yeah, you make that very obvious, don't you, Google and the Rothschilds and the Federal Reserve banking cartel families, and yeah. Are you guys kind of, you seeing the picture here? For those of you that are not awake yet, before you go and just go down to the comment section and start calling me crazy or that I need a tinfoil hat, why don't you really try to, with an open mind, think about the likelihood of these coincidences? Like, statistically, do the mathematics on it. I'm pretty sure you're going to find that it's very, very, very unlikely. One more thing I want to do. There we go. For those of you that, still can't see this, I don't know, but it's right in front of your face. It really is. A little over a month ago, we told you about the 4 new steps we're taking to combat terrorism on YouTube. Better detection, faster removal, driven by machine learning. I think we saw that machine learning, by the way, last night in the chat. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I saved, I copied and pasted the whole chat. Well, what was left of it. After Harvey had already been gone for like 2 hours, there was like this one profile that kept just saying, "Shut up, Harvey. Shut up, Harvey. Shut up, Harvey." So I'm pretty sure that we definitely had some bots in there last night because, yeah, Harvey was gone for like 2 hours. Pretty strange. And that's not the first time that's been seen. Actually, that's one of the videos I'm working on, is the troll shills bots. There's another video or two. Actually, there's a bunch out there of people that have had the same weird stuff, like the same profile carrying on a very long conversation with itself, and it was trying to instigate violent thoughts and like getting people going. You get what I'm saying? It was like trying to get people going, trying to kind of like all this, trying to get people going, like get them all ready to fight and say, "Oh, I'm only willing to go to Canada and fight if you're willing to fight the Canadians." Basically hate speech, that's what it was pushing. And yeah, other people have been finding this weird shit, is what I'm going to call it, happening more and more and more with these censorship things they're doing. And I think that's very weird that there was that profile just kept saying, "Shut up, Harvey." Yeah, hours later. Anyway. Driven by machine learning. More experts to alert us to content that needs review. Tougher standards for videos that are controversial but do not violate our policies. And more work in the counterterrorism space. We wanted to give you an update on these commitments. Better detection, faster removal. Oh yeah, that sounds great. Speed and efficiency. Okay. Accuracy, scale. More experts. Of course, our system is only as good as the data they're based on. Over the past weeks, we've begun working with more than 15 additional expert NGOs and institutions through the Trusted Flagger program, including an Anti-Defamation League, No Hate Speech Movement, the Institute for Strategic Dialogue, and they always have these names to make them sound so credible, but these assholes are the same ones that push the whole hatred and racism and hate speech. You know, it's like these ones are the, you gotta be politically correct. Like, it's just disgusting. Anyway, these organizations bring expert knowledge of complex issues like hate speech, radicalization, terrorism that will help us better identify content that is being used to radicalize and recruit extremists. We will also regularly consult these experts as we update our policies to reflect new trends. And we'll continue to add more organizations to our network of advisors over time. Tougher standards will be soon applying tougher treatment to videos that aren't illegal but have been flagged as potential violations of our policy on hate speech and violent extremism. If you find that these videos don't violate our policies but contain controversial, religious, or supremacist content, again, I just find that very funny that they just put all this out and then you have this happen, like literally 2 weeks later. So, very strange. I'm going to end this video pretty much here, but, yeah, I think you guys kind of get the point here. If you don't and you'd like me to explain further, I am going to be doing more videos on it. But, yeah, there's definitely a lot more info that's going to be coming out on this topic, and we can't let them win. We have to keep fighting YouTube. I think the fact that so many people stood up against this censorship, I think that was a government move. Well, I don't think, I know for a fact it was. That was a government move, the censorship here. And the fact that so many people stood up against it, and you know, a lot of you in this movement and community did too, and there's a lot that still need to. So any of you that have not gone and tweeted, and those of you who have tweeted, I've said, and please, please, please be willing to. You have to do it just about every single day. Don't let up. Don't back down. Keep going. It takes 5 minutes to make those 3 tweets. And I do want to tell you guys something very interesting. So I attached a video, one of those 1-minute videos that just said, hey, tweet them and tell them that we're not cool with the censorship. And guess what happened? So I put that in there, and I tweeted it to the CEO of YouTube. And it just so happens that that same very day, that particular video became ineligible for monetization. And it's like the only video that I've had that has had that happen in the last 2 weeks. So I think that's kind of shows you guys right there. And there was nothing in there that was anything negative or foul or anything like that. So they must not have liked, you know, she obviously didn't like the fact that because I called for her to be fired if she's going to push this censorship bullshit. And I guess that was her way. She must have like gone in real quick and, nope, gonna mess with ya. So, anyway, guys, if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, do so now. Most importantly, share this. Please share this. We got to wake people up. I'm hoping that maybe my down-to-earth kind of common sense breakdown of this will really help some people that otherwise would be following along with the brainwash and bullshit. So please share this video. Get it out to everyone you know. Don't fall for their trap. Much love to everybody. Stay unified. Help each other. Love each other. Back each other up. Support one another. Don't fight with one another. And, yeah. It's a pretty sad day for how far we've come. And it won't be sad once everybody shows them that it's not going to work. So let's make this an awesome day, and let's show them that we're not going to let them play these games with us anymore, that we're smarter than that. All right, guys. Much love. God bless.